Donkey die, father cry.
Joanna, what was running through your head when you're coming to record this episode?
Joel, it's because I asked you this question like a few minutes ago. Let me see what was running through my mind. First, I really didn't want like to get dust on my pants because they were white. So I think there is that. Then what else was I thinking about? I was really excited to see, by the way. I know I saw you recently, like at that session we did with the club. But yeah, I definitely missed you. So I was thinking about seeing you. And yeah. Oh, also, this is our last episode for the season. So like I was thinking, how are we going to do this? How are we going to like package it? And yeah, season 2 has been season 2 has been not very easy. But I think it's that kind of world, It's not supposed to be. But I know for a fact, Joe, if we do what we said we're going to do for season 3, it's going to be so phenomenal.
I know, yeah.
Like you don't even know.
Yeah, let's keep guys anticipating. Right?
Yeah,
but season 3 is going to be a banger.
Yeah,
we can tell you for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome back to We Are Gonna Talk About It, and we want to thank everyone that has given us their tremendous support in this journey that we have had with season 2 and from whatever date we started. And this is the last episode of season 2, as Joanna has already said before. And yeah, we're excited to be here to share this profound wisdom with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine, like from the time we started this thing, now we're like, 24 episodes?
Yeah.
24 episodes down. That's really, really nice.
Yeah, we'll throw a party when we hit the 100th
It's a
mark.
it doesn't have to be 100. Like 30.
30.
Actually, I'm all for a party now, like at the 24th episode. It's like a very tremendous like job that has been done. Something that we truly have to be grateful to God for. Yeah. And I really miss being here. It feels, I now feel like I'm at home. It feels
amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
and guys hadn't seen you in like the previous 3 episodes, and they were getting worried.
Yeah, there was. People have been speculating, saying you kicked me off the show. Like, how dare Joel do such a thing? No, you guys, no. Yeah, you're really stuck with me, by the way, you should know.
Yeah, I want us to kick off season 2 with something that's, rarely discussed and, okay, not rarely discussed, but I don't think it's given as much, what's the word? I'm looking for the word. As
not
much
open.
emphasis. As much emphasis as it should be receiving.
Yeah.
The topic of friendship.
Ooh.
What are your thoughts on friendship?
Friendship. First of all, I have to say, I have the most amazing friends, like the most amazing best friends, and even my closest friends are the most amazing people. Like, there is like the concept of friendship, love, support, oh my goodness, and my friends has merged so much in my life that like I can't separate the two. Like every single time I think about my best friends, I think like love. I feel like all these beautiful and such positive emotions. Like I thank God so much because like I have, by the grace of God, not been a victim of those very dramatic girl friendships. That has not been us, and I thank God for it because like we are 4 different people from 4 different backgrounds, but we love each other so deeply. Without that, there is that drama that is so alive in so many feminine friendships that I don't have, and I really thank God for. And I think mostly it has to be because of the way we communicate. And also because my friends are so spiritual. Thank God. One of them is a Muslim, but she's also very like spiritual in like Islam. I think definitely the foundation of God, that is a given. And then also these are like very mature thinking women. And the thing that I'd emphasize the most for friendships would be that communication. My friends and I talk about each and every single thing. Actually, I realized that the time when I started to experience some specific strains in my female friendships, it's because, how when we began the podcast, we said, why are we going to call it? We're going to talk about it. And then we realized it's because people don't talk about those trivial things that eventually present themselves in the future as such big things and big hurdles that like lead and like compromise relationships and friendships. So the times that my friends and I struggled in our friendships was because of that lack of communication, especially about things that we deem trivial. So for example, like there's this example that you love to use about we go home, I put my jackets, you put your jacket somewhere, maybe you put your shoes somewhere, maybe you throw your socks in a place where they shouldn't be. And it bugs me, but I don't talk about it. Such that you do it so many times over a long period of time. But each and every single time I pick your shoes and I pick your socks and I put them in the place where they're supposed to be without communicating to you about it, I grow some resentment. So that by the 90th day of me collecting your shoes and your socks from the wrong place, I've built such big resentment that like it will be like, you know, a ticking time bomb. Like I will get to that point where I explode seemingly over something so trivial and so little that it will be even confusing. Like, where is this coming from? Like something like that. So I'd say communication over those trivial things. And for us, for me and my friends, usually it's about maybe the way that we say something. There is something I always say to my best friend. The message is important, but the delivery is even more important. So, like say my friend says something and she says, oh, this happened. And so maybe it's very accusatory. In that moment, I want my friend's feelings to be valid, but also in her communication, in her relay of this message to me, I've been hurt by something that she has said. So I can still support my friend. I can still validate her and validate her feelings, but also communicate a way that she has invalidated mine or a way that she has hurt me, so that I don't say, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Fine. Like, I'm sorry. This won't happen again. And keep this record of like wrong, keep this resentment that like continues to build and build. There is a time my best friend and I didn't talk for, I think, like 2 whole months because of something so trivial. Like she said something, I felt accused, I said sorry, but I should have also told her, oh, by the way, you're saying this thing like this, but I feel like you're accusing me, like you're blaming me for that issue. Just a conversation like that. And I think after like 2 months, we sat down and we talked about it. And it was so, like it wasted us 2 months for nothing. Like it's something that could have been so simply solved. So yeah, when I think friendships, I think that intentionality in communication, like if you truly want to be together, there has to be a lot of work that you put into communicating compassionately. I don't know whether I mentioned that honesty without compassion and empathy is just cruelty. Yeah. So yeah, when I think friendships, when I think about our most uniting factor, it would be God, 100%, but also that communication that we've so successfully woven in our friendships.
I think that's beautiful in a way. Yeah. And you know, I was listening to this conversation of Simon and Trevor know about friendship, and
Simon
it just
Sinek.
and it just, you know, opened my eyes about the entire concept. Yes, I've had an understanding of it, but I think there is I've been treating it like a secondary thing. Yet I think friendships are supposed to be primary, because as humans we are always searching for belonging, right?
True.
You want to feel loved, and we have gotten into this loop of putting the burden of our entire belonging or recognition or attention on our partners. So we want our partners to fulfill everything, like everything to fix that part of your social belonging. You seek for it in your partner,
which is not right.
Yeah, which is also overburdening to some extent. But one thing I've also discovered is that women have a better grasp on friendship than women do, and you know,
Really?
Simon was asking, because now women are way more empathetic, right? Because of the way they're, and it's not even just a biological thing, it's just their way of life. You know, if you've read that thing of men are from Mars, women are from Venus, the way they communicate things, it's really different. They just, it's okay to be vulnerable with your friends, right? That's not the same thing with men. So Simon was asking, are there times when you've told your boys that I love you, like your real friends. Obviously, we're not talking about an acquaintance framework where everyone you meet, like let me say at a social gathering, oh, he's your boy, but I mean like your real circle, and you know, like those 2 or 3 people.
I truly love
Have you told them, I love you, not love ya, not
love ya,
they're not that
love,
kind,
see you,
but
lots of love.
I love you.
Yeah.
And how has that made you feel? And he was also saying the best way to, figure that out is when they told it to you. Have you had someone who has told that to you? Have you experienced real friendship for you to understand the impact of a good friendship in your life?
Yeah.
Have you had someone crawl into bed with you and have ice cream with you because you're heartbroken, right? Have you done it for your friends as well? Not trying to fix you, but just trying to live the moment with you.
Yeah.
And there was this misconception that was also perturbing me at one point. You do not want to. I want to also get your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
In a female perspective, how females handle this, because I feel like you guys have a very good grasp on this kind of concept.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing of where you do not want to burden your friends,
yeah,
right? So let me say I'm experiencing something. I've lost a parent or I've lost a job, but then I do not want to call my close friend to burden them with this news. It's easier for me to call my friends and say, "Oh, guys, I got paid. Let's go out." "Oh, guys, let me take you guys out for dinner." It's it's easier because in a way it's also impacting you. There is a way you feel good after doing it. Yeah. But then when you're going through tough times, I don't know.
It's harder.
In a man's way, there is a way it stops being, efficient. The friendship is no longer. I can't call you and say, "I'm going through this," and it's not that your friends are bad people, but it's entirely with you. Yeah. There is a way it feels like you're burdening them. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the first major thing would be the sexual revolution that we're currently facing right now has been a bit also of a paralysis in the development of like deep, intimate friendships like amongst the male species, because like you were saying, like if you crawl into my bed, like I'm going through a heartbreak, if you crawl into my bed and we eat ice cream together, then chances are like the first thing that goes through someone's mind when they see us will be like, are you guys gay? So like there has been that
that's a good point.
There has been that there is that as if stigma, that like paralysis, like guys can't hold hands. Like to be honest, like even for me it would be awkward. Like if I saw guys holding hands, it's like for like a long period of time, I'd be like something is, So there's been that with like the state of like the sexual empowerment, like that scene, the state of the scene right now plays a very big role, I believe, a big role in the way you guys form and develop like your friendships, because like you want it to be intimate, you want it to be close, you want to feel like you're close to your brothers, but you also don't want to feel gay. And I think it's an advantage that like women have had over men for a long period of time, is that like definitely if I'm going through a heartbreak, my friend will come, like all of them will crawl into bed and eat ice cream and we'll be together. Even though, let me say, we have the tiniest clothes on and it won't be as like dramatic or as questionable as it is for guys. So I think the problem would be, what would I say the problem would be? Definitely, I feel like, to be honest, like there might be other things there, but also because of that, again, that sexual like orientation revolution thing, I feel like men have been conditioned to believe that there is a certain intimacy that like crosses the threshold of brotherhood. Like there is a certain intimacy that crosses the threshold of we're just boys, you know? Like if I call my friend and I say, I mean, and actually that's like I usually tell you, Joel, you are in that small percentage of men that I believe to have found the recipe somehow to be in touch and in tune with like your emotions and your feelings, that has allowed you to be successfully vulnerable and empathetic towards both guys and girls. That you need that touch in your feelings. Like you need that vulnerability, like you need to be in touch with it to a specific degree to allow you to like be empathetic. Because I think there is people that have unlocked the secret. That's why for someone like you, I feel like if something happened that was terrible, you'd be able to call Trevor up or Layton and be like, oh, guys, I'm not like really feeling up to this party tonight because my girlfriend is not talking to me, and it's just like whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, you have no girlfriend, but yeah, I might be ruining your chances. Okay. You might be like, so I applied to this job and I didn't get it, and I don't feel like showing up to the party today. You can do that, right?
Yeah.
So what allows you, like what has enabled you to be able to like ring Trevor, and you've not suppressed the emotion that you're feeling, even in the communication of this thing to your friend, because you feel like, oh, I'm crossing the threshold. Like, who do I think Trevor is to me? My boyfriend? No. Like, I feel like maybe there is that, and of course I'm not a guy, so correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe there is that like process, that small internal monologue that goes on that says, can I tell Trevor this? No. Like, am I mistaking him to be my like wife or my sister? Like, it's really not that deep. And I'm a man, I should handle it. I'm a man, I should handle it. So men's suppression of vulnerability, that's one. And that like sexual orientation revolution thing that is going on, that's another thing. I will forever encourage men to be vulnerable. Like, it doesn't mean that you cry more than me, that we're watching a movie, like I'm about to like hide in your chest, you're also already crying. Like that might be, that's not in that sense, but for like, if something is like there is things that are not small and there is things that really hurt, I'll forever encourage men to be vulnerable, because, and I'll always use this thing about Jesus weeping. And even more profoundly recently, I came to think about the fact that, do you realize that Jesus wept when a few moments later, like, you know, a few moments later, he was going to like raise Lazarus from from being dead. So first of all, Jesus knew that Lazarus, like he's going to be alive in like the next, you know. If you knew that everything was going to be okay, I don't think that you would cry. But why did the most beautiful, the most perfect being cry? Like, there is so much that Jesus did simply to set for us an example, because he's the Son of God. Like, everything could have even been solved by like a snap of a finger. But when I think about it, it becomes more and more profound. Like, he was trying to say that like these emotions that we have neglected and pushed to be feminine things and feminine traits are, I don't think, something like vulnerability. Like, I understand we women, we cry way more even for like silly things. If my day is not, if like sand gets in my hair, if I can't find my earrings, I might cry. And there is that, we're too emotional. There is that. But you should not like suppress the things that really hurt you, the things that are actually telling you, oh, I think it's time to be a bit vulnerable with somebody. You should not suppress those things because you feel like, oh no, I'm a man, I should be in control and I should be, you know. So I'd say those two things: men's suppression of vulnerability and the current sexual orientation revolution.
I think you raise a very beautiful points in your submission.
Yeah.
Because that last part of oh yeah, you know, there is also a scientific explanation why women do that. It's fascinating that some things can be explained by science.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading that, you know, with an increase in estrogen production, there is an increase in emotional awareness. But then during those, like towards the menstrual cycle, like I don't know how it operates, but well, that's how they were.
I will teach you.
Yeah, that's how they framed it. Yeah. They were saying like during that period, there is an increase in emotional awareness in women because of the increased production of estrogen. Yeah.
Then there is the luteal phase and the follicular phase.
Yeah, so that means they are more aware about. So that's why you losing an earring could make you cry. Yeah. But then it also has the positive side. Yeah. So now this answers a question of, why am I able to be vulnerable with, you know, Trevor? That thing, Layton, why am I able to call them and, you know, tell them, oh man, I'm having a bad day.
I can't come.
Type stuff. Yeah. Then there was that thing of, you know, I wrote an article about this. I don't know if you read it. That article of Boys Don't Cry.
November.
No, that's different. Yeah. The ones of Boys Don't Cry. So we pick ideals for our definitions of masculinity. Yes. So there is the alternative of be an aggressive alpha male, right? Because that's also something there, and I think
maybe the most successful people have been aggressive.
Yeah, it's like pushed by the far right. So now you pick ideals like Elon Musk, Donald Trump. So these are the people you look to you know, help you define masculinity. What is it to be a man? But then the alternative, which is being pushed maybe by the far left, would be that act more like a woman, which is also not helpful. because at the end of that day, we still
Think like a man. It's
Oh,
act
the
like
movie.
a man.
Oh,
Think like a woman.
I
Like
don't.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So now
sorry.
both are not. That's what I was saying. Human beings look at everything as a binary. They
Yeah.
ignore the gray area. So I think masculinity is also in the gray. It's not being aggressive, dominant, and stringent, and misogynistic.
Yeah.
That's not the definition of masculinity. And it's also not being a simpic and acting more like a woman. It's something in the middle. But
yes.
I think why I'm able to express myself in that manner is the development of empathy. So I had also this phase of my life.
Feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this phase in my life where I had the pain to, think that everything is outward, right?
Yeah.
So I would want to deliver what the world has given me. You give me shit, I return shit. Yeah, in that manner. So you do not take into consideration about what other people are feeling. And that's where the empathy comes in.
Yeah.
So what happens is that, women, they read a lot of fiction, and fiction builds a lot of empathy. Like just spending.
Is that why you're reading that book I saw in your bag?
Yeah, that's why I've started reading fiction as well. I started sometime back. I think it's been like 3 years or so. So what happens when you spend 300 pages in someone else's mind?
Yeah.
You can't tell me you're going to finish those 300 pages without building empathy. And empathy is so important to build like sustainable friendships, because empathy achieves so much.
Yeah.
You're more emotionally intelligent. And most people say, you know what? I don't care about that stuff. I don't need to be emotionally intelligent. But then this is a very staggering statistic I also found.
Yeah.
The top 1% of people who earn more in the world, like that 1% of people don't have the highest IQ. But what do they have that's higher? It's a higher EQ. So now that means the bottom 10% has a higher IQ than the top 1% of people. But what's different?
And they have a lower EQ.
Yeah, but these guys earn more. So your empathy won't not only make your friendships better, but there is a probability of becoming better in your financial sectors or whatever sector you want to improve in your life. And that study of Women Are Better CEOs by Simon, he was saying, because of their understanding of human beings and emotions in that manner. So it's not being dominant, hyper aggressive, and it's also not being a woman, but it's finding your way, defining your way through, the formless, the gray, finding your own definition of what it means to be a man with a bit of empathy. Or you could just get stuck in the red pill movement. But who wants that?
Nobody.
No one wants to be lonely.
See, everyone has eventually fallen off the Andrew Tate train.
So I want to ask you, do you think men and women could be truly friends?
Actually, every time someone asks me that question, I look into my circle, I look at my male friends, and then I mentally ask each one of them this question.
I'm the only male friend you have.
Oh,
right?
Oh, you wish. Well, you're the closest male friend I have. So there is that. Should clap for it. Yeah. Anyway, I usually ask myself this. I mentally ask each one of them this question or have this conversation with them. I say, if I went to my friend right now and I said, oh, hey, I have had like a long dry season and I really just want to like, of course I can't, God forbid. But like I'm just, like I say.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically. Because you're looking at me very intensely.
No.
I've had a long dry season and I just really want to, do you think you can help me somehow?
Yeah.
Which one of my friends would be like, but man, Joanna, we're boys? And like, which one of my friends would be like, yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. So like every time I think about like whether can men truly have platonic relationships with women, I greatly believed it. Like I'll say 2 years ago. 20 years ago. I was
20.
No.
I mean,
2 years ago, I would say I had a big no. I would say no, never. Every boy around you that thinks like that is presenting themselves as like, oh no, we're just close friends, what. I greatly believe that they wanted to sleep with you. But now it's something that I've come to realize by having absolutely like very beautifully matured and intelligent male friends. I've come to learn that there is people, like there is male, like there is, you can have a good male friend who doesn't want any romantic involvement with you, but you're coexisting beside each other very perfectly in the platonic relationship of in
Okay,
the platonic sense.
that's fascinating
Yeah.
still, because sometimes I think maybe so like from the start when you guys became friends there was nothing going on there, because I feel like sometimes maybe a boy or a man would be scared to drop his intentions clearly.
Yeah.
Maybe he's scared of rejection, and that's a very common thing.
Yeah.
That's being scared of rejection and being scared of public speech are one of the top two leading fears, which is
like
I thought
next.
yeah, I thought people would be scared of death, but it's rejection and public speaking. So it's crazy. But being scared of rejection is such a big thing that I can decide to pretend, right? Because I know, what if I ask out Joanna and she says no? So I just stick around long enough, maybe
to soften me so that eventually I'll
not
say
soften
yes.
you.
Or what?
I'm just settling. I've settled for the friend zone. But once the opportunity comes up, right? Once that part of you that's vulnerable comes up, maybe you've lost a parent, maybe you've lost your job, and
you're hugging me weirdly,
yeah.
you're
so
okay.
do you think, and it's also part of being human as a guy, because these are impulses you're always fighting. So
okay, before Joel, let me ask, so you settle into it? It's never the main intention?
Yeah, it was never the main intention. So you settled into it because you didn't have the courage to ask out this person.
I'm going to call my friends one time.
Yeah,
my male friends, they sit down on this podcast and assure you guys that
no, I think it's better you call them and tell them, all right, now I'm feeling low, could you come over and we see.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 of my friends
will say no.
They will come over because they care about me. No. They will come over because they care about me, but they won't like sexualize
really
me in any way.
Then
Joel, if I called you to come over because I was feeling
different.
low, would
you
said
said 9 out of 10.
Yes.
I'm the one who won't.
Oh, so you want? Like
no.
I said, 9 out of 10.
If you come over, I'm feeling down. That's different. But
No,
you are in that context.
If I called you, Joel, I said, I'm feeling really low, something has happened, could you come over and see me for a minute? Would you come?
And you're specific, you want me to see you for a minute? Or you just said you're feeling low?
I'm feeling low.
Yeah,
come and see me. Yeah,
I'll ask why.
Why? Like, something has happened, something very terrible. Come and see me. Will you come?
No,
that.
Here's the difference. I want to be truly honest, right?
Okay.
I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Okay.
Obviously, I'll come over. Yeah. But then there was something about being
vulnerable.
That question. No, not vulnerable.
Yeah.
That question of being truly formidable.
Yeah.
Like that assertion that was going around, I think it was by Jordan Steele, that thing of what makes a truly good guy. And no, even Immanuel Kant hinted on this, like what makes a truly moral person. So most people think that what makes a truly good person is you could identify yourself as a good person. But I think the ability to see evil in yourself is what makes you a good person.
Yeah.
So if, in a way, is that if you, in quotes, a good guy, right? You're just not, formidable enough. You're not capable of anything. You're not capable of danger in a way. So you just choose to identify yourself. Oh, I'm good. But the matter of the fact is you're just weak. You do not have the opportunity to be bad. Yeah, right?
You've not been in a situation where...
Yeah, like the principle of martial arts. Yeah. Like you're taught how to fight. You're the best fighter in the crowd, but, you won't participate in insignificant, trivial fights.
Yeah.
Because... it's like inward confidence. It's not something you're mimicking.
Yeah.
So now people who mimic goodness, like guys, I'm a good guy. Once you're given that chance, they're going to fall on that thing.
You're going to be
because
bad.
You're going to be a slave to your impulses.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with morality. You can't say, oh man, the government is stealing our funds, blah, blah, blah. So, but once you're put in the position to procure that money, are you sure you will do the right thing?
Yeah.
Now that's when you can truly
say.
I encourage
everyone to be a Christian and to have a relationship with God.
Yeah. That's why that's the true test of morality. Yeah. That's when you can say, I'm a truly moral person.
Yeah.
Once you've walked at least a mile in the shoes of the person you're judging. So now my point is, if you call me, obviously I have impulses. Now it depends on the setting. You've called me to a coffee thingy. Okay. We'll talk, right?
Yeah.
A coffee obviously I want because I know
No.
We're
I'm
friends.
at my home.
You're at your home.
Yeah.
Where are
I
we?
wasn't able to.
In the bedroom.
Yeah.
In the bedroom.
I've not been able to get out of my bed because I'm feeling just so low.
Yes. Then we're doing the thing where I have ice cream. I don't try to fix you.
Yeah, you have ice cream, yeah.
Then you're touching me.
No.
Now here's the thing.
Oh my goodness. No, okay. I'm not touching you. But because it's like I'm in my vest, let me say shorts. No, I'm in my vest and my sweatpants. I've opened for you. I've gone back into my bed because I'm feeling really low. You came with ice cream and with cookies and maybe we're going to watch something.
So now here's the thing. What makes
I've not touched you.
Yeah. What makes me a good friend to you? is that not that I won't have the impulses. I'll have very many impulses, a plethora of impulses. Some will be telling me that maybe she likes you, maybe that, maybe this. But oh wait, this. So now you have to think all this through, which is a very complicated thing, right? But then I'll choose to do maybe what's right. But I won't deny the impulses are there.
Yeah.
So now that's what was also the basis for this question. That the fact that I have those impulses towards you, does it make me a real friend to you? Because I don't think a female friend will have that impulse with.
She won't.
Okay, except if you're like not heterosexual.
Yeah.
But most heterosexual female friends won't want to sleep with you.
But you see, Joel, exactly what you said about your acknowledgement of those things, those impulses that you have, ultimately is what makes you a good friend to me.
That's what I was also, 'cause that would be my defense, my benefit of doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That because you know that you have these impulses.
And I'm choosing not to act on them.
Exactly. You're suppressing them because you genuinely care about me as a friend.
Yes.
Is ultimately what makes you a good friend to me.
Yeah.
And a good platonic friend to me.
Yeah.
So what are we encouraging people? Like, as we wrap up, I have one last question, but what are we encouraging people to do? Like, do you believe in that male best friend, female thing?
You see, that's complicated because you're going to have, why would you want to put yourself in that position where you're going to have impulses vis-a-vis a relationship with your girlfriend? Because times are going to be tough for real. So you'd rather not put yourself in a position where you're going to, be okay, let's say,
so it's a horse.
You know that you have that inward confidence, you studied martial arts. What would you put in yourself in a position to fight? What would you want to start a fight? How you're starting a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're not even living up to the principle of martial arts,
maybe
properly.
For the fight to really come. But
exactly.
Make one.
Yeah, that thing only applies that it came to you.
Yeah.
And because you're well prepared, your confidence is inward, you can react in the most appropriate manner. But you presenting yourself in that situation, I feel like that's detrimental. So I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. But people are different, and maybe my experience is entirely subjective and entirely me. But that's what I would say.
I see a bit of objectivity in that. Like, why should you start the fight? If you're truly confident, let it find you.
Yeah, let it find you. Like, you're not out to, prove that you know how to fight, right?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. As we wrap it up, what's one thing that what's the most misunderstood thing about yourself?
About what people misunderstand about me?
You,
yeah. I guess it's the part of me being cold-hearted. Yeah.
Okay.
Most people, I think maybe it's my resting. I don't want to say beach face, but you get it.
Resting, yeah. You do have a.
Yeah. Most people say that there is actually a scientific phenomenon. It's called the resting something face. It was Vanessa Edwards discusses it.
With Stephen.
Yeah, with Steven, the resting bitch face phenomenon. Yeah. So most people have the face that they put on when they are calm, right? Now that face is usually used to now brand you the same way you present yourself. Because
do you have a resting bitch face?
No, yours is okay. You look like a jolly person. So what she advises is to practice like the, the upward smile. Because, we have an empathetic neuron in our brains that, I can you can sense, you can smell it off me. Yeah. So now every time you see like I have a downward thing, you want
like danger.
Yeah, your brain is telling you, man, this person is cold, so you won't want to approach them.
But
she says that practice that upward, face thing, so that But now,
I'll be
that's
your
the
accountability partner. You practice it.
What's yours?
What would it be? When people look at me, they think I don't know how to cook, and it really hurts me. It hurts my feelings to like every single person that has told me I look like I cannot cook. Yeah, just letting you know that it hurt my feelings.
I think this was a very fruitful discussion. I guess, the thing to pick from it is that be vulnerable with the right people, obviously.
Absolutely.
Not with everyone.
And communicate with your friends.
Yeah. Do not, that balance of warmth and competence. Do not be too warm and do not be too competent.
Yeah.
Like, balance it up.
The charisma and the competence.
Don't be scared to be vulnerable with the right people. Express how you feel and read more fiction, guys.
Yeah, read more fiction and also develop yourselves internally. Take a lot of time to yourself to grow yourself both mentally and especially spiritually. Yeah, but and before we wrap it up, we just want to give a quick shout out to Vin and Sage, right now at the forefront of revolutionizing creativity when it comes to apparel, right, in Uganda. So if you Joel, just show maybe your shirt much better. We are doing a small, nice partnership, and we just wanted to say thank you. And we wanted to encourage everyone to like check them out on their socials. That's Bean and Sage. And we are so glad that you guys were a part of this episode. We can't wait to see you next season. Oh my goodness, the last one. Can't wait to see you next season.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.